He kōna I purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Tau mai e tihi e te wehi e te tapu o tua whakarere. Ki roto ki tēnei huihuinga, ki roto ki tēnei pununga, ki roto ki tēnei wānanga, ki roto ki tēnei rūnanga. Ki te kauhanga nui a tāne I te waiora, tāne I te wānanga, tūturu e tāne whakamaua kia tīna,
Tīna.
hui e,
Tai ki e. Tauranga Moana, Tauranga Tangata, Mauau, Te Maunga, nau mai hara mai ki tēnei teihana Māori o Moana Radio. Kei te pito o te ao. I'm Justine Murray.
Nai ro eru e te whānau, tēnā koutou.
Kehu pātara, tēnā rā koutou.
Te imui te kōrero. Let's go around quickly and just give your vibe of how you're feeling today. Nairo.
I feel good.
Da, 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 da.
Hey, look, the sun's shining e te whānau. The sun's shining. It's midwinter, but the sun's shining, so it's got that chilly sort of sunny feel outside. Begs the question again, what are we doing? We need mobile recording equipment that we can set up out in the sun.
Yes.
And just let it roll.
That's why,
But I feel good.
Have you still got your your RV?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, come
did you
on
sell
now,
it?
huh?
No. Not enough use. Not using it enough.
As Nairo and I quickly look at each other and go, what do you mean not enough use? Okay, fair enough.
We missed the opportunity.
Yeah, we missed
we'll
the
just leave it down
opportunity.
to
Kua mahue te pahi.
Me haere tātou ki te tiki te kere whēne. We'll go find that caravan, rust and all,
Yes.
and we'll resurrect it.
Oh, yes. Okay. You're talking about the Moana radio van, but yeah, you are. Okay.
Aye.
Yes, that needs a little bit of aroha at it. How you feeling, matua te kiukiu? Feeling all good?
Oh, I ngā wā katoa. Karakau e raru ki ahau.
Okay.
Aho ko ngā piki ngā heke o te wā. Me hāre tonu I runga I te aroha, te humāri e.
Oh,
It's kind of sexy.
that is. That is, you know, that's your rongoā me ki, your,
Ai, yeah. Kia tau te rangi Māori e ki te hinengaro tangata, kaora ai ke te wairua.
and that's the end of the show, e te whānau. That's the key message from this podcast. Anyway, okay.
Me whakakapi nā kōrero.
Yes, absolutely. The kaupapa of this episode, Paewhiri, we are talking about our marae.
Ooh.
Our marae have been described as the beacon of Māori culture. You know, the marae is only as strong as the people. That's another saying. Kia he tahi atu ngā kōrero e hāngai puana ki te marae.
Ooh.
Ahuru mōwai.
Dumu poka atu.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Beautiful. So the marae are our whare. Hang on, what is the marae? It is the
Ātea.
ātea.
Te whenua.
Te whenua, ātea.
Yeah, so when you think of marae, generally these days when we talk about the marae, we're going up to the marae. Oh, something's on at the marae. You're thinking about the buildings, but the marae is the whenua on which the buildings stand. The buildings represent the people, but the marae is the whenua where the people stand. Tēnā koutou.
Oh,
That'll be
I love
$5 each.
Yes.
Tēnā koutou.
Matua, what is the marae to you?
Kia hau nei nā, you know, ka wātea te ātea, I runga I te marae I ngā wā katoa aha ko te kaupapa.
Ahakoa te kaupapa, ka pai. So we're talking about marae, and we'll go through the various kōrero throughout this next half hour on Paewhiri. But here in the Bay of Plenty, this is from the Bay of Plenty Regional Council booklet, Ngā Marae Arohe. We have 224 marae, ki te Moana nui toi, actually including parts of Te Arawa as well, so some in Rotorua. Right. 224 marae. And this is what it says inside the booklet as well. Our marae are the very souls of our whānau, family, our hapu, sub-tribes, our iwi tribes. For Māori, the marae is a wāhi tapu where ritual encounters are performed, important issues are debated and discussed through wānanga, where our deceased lie before they enter the spiritual realm. The whare tipuna is adorned inside and out with representations of our tipuna, a reminder of our whakapapa.
Beautiful.
Katahi te pai o tērā kōrero.
Kia ora. Ātāhua.
Absolutely. But in the last, I would say, actually probably few decades, but especially in the last 5 years, our marae have certainly changed. How do we think the role of our marae play a part in our lives today?
Probably based off that little kōrero, that really spells out, I guess, the epitome of what we want our marae to be. You know, it's the communal place where we as a whānau can hui, we can have it out with each other, we can love each other, we can grieve with each other, we can have kaitahi together, we can mahi together. And I think the focus on that whole little statement that I'm talking about is about being together. Sure, things aren't always roses, but if you're together, that you're still living out the very definition of what a marae is established for in the first place. It's a place for the community, the whānau, the hapu, to hui, or to be together, to meet and engage with each other and pull each other in, be strong together. Hea te kore, he tūranga waiwai, ne? It's a place to stand. It's a place to stand in themselves and be strong in themselves, to be powerful in their identity and know who they are. And then within that, within that strength of who they are, this is how we connect with each other. So it's not about strength in who you are to isolate yourselves, whilst you want to identify that there is strength in your identity. It's not about pitting identities against each other, which actually is another kōrero, but now and then folds into it, especially with our interaction with other organisations, with other authorities in today's world.
Kia ora, tēnā koe, Nairo. What about you, Matua, when it comes to, you go to quite a few hui and kaupapa.
Tangata marae, te koraga nei.
Kia hau nei nā ko te marae, koe nā te manawa o ngā whānau. Koe nā hoki te manawa o te hapu. Tika nā te kōrero he wāhi, hei hui ngā ana, mō ngā kaupapa. He huri tau, he mārena, he tangihana, he hui whenua. Ko te marae, ki ahau nei nā, is a living thing. The whenua is alive. Ngā tipuna whare, they're alive. Ka tū te tangata ki rungi te marae, koe ara te waha kōrero mo te tūpuna.
Kia ora.
Ka hapai tia ke te mana o te marae, e aroki ko te mana e anake, engari mo te hapu o taua marae. The whānau make the hapu make the iwi. The marae brings them all together as one.
Oh, beautiful. So recently I went to one of my marae and we had a hui about our tikanga and kawa when it comes to tangihanga. And without delving into too much, because none of us could record it, we had a ture and a tikanga.
Me wānanga.
Yeah, he wānanga.
Wānanga.
And it just showed me the changes on our marae and sometimes things that are happening that we don't know why they're happening. But it all comes, I suppose, in me reflecting about the show, about this podcast, about the changes that we've seen on our marae, especially in the last 5 years with COVID. Some things that have stayed and some things that have kind of fallen by the wayside, so to speak. Maybe that's not the wrong terminology. So one thing that stayed is at our marae is the wātaka. The night, for the times of the ope, come at 9, 11, 1, 3 and 5 seem to be the common wātaka here in Tauranga, Moana. Have you witnessed this elsewhere? Outside of Tauranga?
Plenty of rohe are into it now, and it's probably a little bit of a hangover from kōwheori.
Yeah.
Where those marae who perhaps didn't imagine they would do something like that found their utility in actually spacing out their ope for the safety of the ope, for the safety of the manuhiri, for the safety of the haukainga as well. And, those were the stipulations of the day, but now over that period of perhaps a good 2 to 3 years, we were, through the circumstance, made to adapt to a new way of living, have now taken on board some of the learnings from that and realised, okay, this is actually sustainable, it's actually helpful for us long term, and so we might retain some of those new tikanga that we perhaps not necessarily created, but fused together with what we're practicing, and then the new way of life, and created like a hybrid or a
Hybrid.
I whānau mai te tai tikanga hou.
Absolutely.
Something new was created.
Yeah. And what have you seen anything that's been laid to rest, so to speak, Matua? Te kehu?
That doesn't mean you have a rest.
I can't really think of anything that's been laid to rest.
I think the hongi, ni, te whakarata.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because koira tētahi tikanga I whakamoia mo tētahi wā. Kia kaua tātou e tata. So the process of hongi was laid to rest on a lot of our marae. Not everyone followed it.
That's the hariru process.
We'll call it hongi.
Yeah. Well, when you
You go around and physically greet whānau. Some readopted that back in quite quickly, ne? Etahi, kai te tohe tonu. Some are still caught between it.
So some maraes I've been to, I've seen the women growling men, when they go to kiss them instead of hongi.
Yeah.
And I've seen that quite a bit now on the maraes, where the women, they want to
Hongi.
just hongi,
Hongi.
and no kihi. And then the first thing, fellas want to do is go there and, kihi.
Just a side peck on the
Yeah,
cheek.
yeah.
Kai te mau tonu e rā tikanga ne.
Yeah. But now, some of our maraes are like that. The women just prefer
Me hongi.
to the hongi. No kissing.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. No iwiki. No iwiki te rā.
Ka pai.
O mena ka titiro koe ki te kōrero, te tikanga o te hongi, nea.
Ai.
Te hā o te tangata.
So the
mai
breath
te
of the
ehu,
food,
ki
yep.
roto I te ehu. And it's just exchanging.
Yeah.
Ka rere atu te wairua, taku wairua, ki tērā, e hongi ana. Ana, tana wairua, ka uru mai ki roto I ahau. Ka te tū ke te
Ka
rangi
pai.
Māori.
Yeah, I've noticed that our marae, well, not that they never were, but there seems to be like, if you are ill, don't come to the marae. If you are ill,
Ahua kaha tērā I nane.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's acceptable to, just shake hands or do the old fist bump.
The-
Which yeah.
The other thing I see coming back on some of our maraes is that the men go to the men and hongi, and the women just go to the woman. Ngā mea tāne, nge ngā tararua ki ngā tararua, ngā panekochi ki ngā panekochi, ke kore rawa ke rātou e whakawhiti. A te mea, he mana tā te wahine, he mana tā te tāne.
And they don't.
And so
go to-
they don't
right.
cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen that come back into play now, and they let the people know, on the play.
Yeah. I was thinking of matakana of no, and I think we start here and then we end up going across anyway. Ka pai. Okay.
Ahua rangirua Tauranga. Tāne mā haere ki nā tāne wāhine mā haere ki nā wāhine next minute.
Start that way. No, start that way.
And one thing I never used to see is the kids
Aye.
going around ki te haruru, ki te hongi.
Ai.
Oh,
Yeah.
why? Oh, yeah, you're right. Hang on, let me think. I've seen a couple of kids in some poor
But now they have kohana reo, they have kids going through doing it all now.
You mean going?
Yeah, but ki te haruru. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ki ngā kaumātua, te kihi ki ngā kuia.
Right. Okay. E te whānau, we're going to have a little bit of a break. You're listening to Paewhiri.
Pai tū, pai hinga, pai kare, pai whiri.
I'm Justine Murray. This is...
Nā ro eru e whānau.
And
Ko te kehu pātara.
I roto i tēnei punua pāho,
Right.
talking about the marae. So I want you to think of me as E.T. has just landed.
Tēnā koe te rangatira taumai.
Tēnā korua. I've
Right.
just landed and I want to know about the marae. I want to go onto the marae for a kaupapa where my alien mum and dad are going to meet me later on. So what is the first thing I need to understand going to a marae?
Ko te wawata ia, hopefully, when E.T. lands,
Yes.
koe rā, you're wearing some suitable attire.
A suitable attire.
Some kakahu
Okay.
pai. Because the first encounter onto the marae is a formal occasion, you'd normally rock up in formal wear. That gets challenged from time to time, but that would probably be the benchmark.
Okay, and I identify as female, ET, for a change. So I would wear the proper attire, no kind of like a long skirt, perhaps.
There are those who would say that. I'm not too hard on it because in my mind the kakahu we wear now are kakahu of the times, and they're kakahu that were given to us over time. But if we think prior to that contact period between our tipuna and tipuna from overseas, we had different sorts of kakahu, and we weren't as conservative as we are now. We've we've endured generations of colonisation, and part of the hangover of that colonisation is now that there are societal expectations, and kakahu being one of them. And so you'll go to plenty of marae where they stipulate that wahine me mau I te panekoti roa, tane mā me mau tarau roa. So you'll go to plenty of marae. You come to Tauranga, there's probably an expectation here too, I think generally. And from experience that wahine will wear long skirts, and tane mā you need to wear long pants or trousers. And you'll see it when you come to the marae ET, no mai haere mai, that you might stick out like a sore thumb if
Yes, I
you're,
will.
you know, wearing rugby shorts or something, whether you're tāne or wahine. Ai.
Ka pai. So I rock up to the marae, and obviously there's a process will take place from the gate. I'm ready to visit, to go onto the marae, the Paewhiri process. Oh, what happens next, Matua Te Kiukiu?
For me first, before you even get to the marae, I think you need to do due diligence to know where you're going, why you're going, and in all that due diligence, you get to know just what Ngaira was saying, what you have to wear, things like that. If we see somebody that we don't know, we'll send the watene out to let them know at the gate.
So the Māori warden, or the wardens?
Yeah, the Māori wardens out there to let them know. Yeah.
So Māori wardens come up to me and they say, "Oh, no hea koe," and I say, "No."
Yeah. So then he'll relay that message back to the paitapu. The paitapu will relay the message to the reo reiua ne, the kaikarana. And then it starts from there.
Ka pai. Okay, so that's the process that starts. Who am I? Why am I here? The wātene relays that to the main paitapu, or the oratory bench inside the marae, and also for the kaikaranga who will call. So if I was to bring my mates, like 20 of my friends with me, is there anything that we need to bear in mind when coming onto the marae?
Well, there are some, used to be with tapu. We tahi o ngā marae, oku I ngā wā o mena I te hapu te wahine, kare whakai te wahine, teke I te marae.
Oh, okay.
Pera, you know, I ngā mahi I te tuonera.
He tikanga I tēnei wā? Kei te ora
Ko ngaro kei tawa huatana I nai nei, engari ngā wā o mua, ka kite atu te wahine e hapu ana, ka tuku atu te kārere ki te koeno ki ahia.
Matua, can you bring your microphone down? Because you're really quiet.
Quiet, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better. Okay, ka pai.
You're slouching.
Do I need to tell my friends to bring anything? Do we need to bring anything on with us when we go onto the marae? Nairo?
Kia koro mo te koha ni. Ko te koha, ko te whakaaro nui mai te nākau, mai te whakaaro nui anō hoki I roto I te hui huinga. So nowadays, there are costs for the marae, and those are usually taken care of ahead of time and away from the face-to-face initial engagement. But koha, there is a tikanga around koha, and koha is a gift nowadays, usually in the form of money, handed over on behalf of the manuhiri when they go onto the marae. And that koha is like a discretionary gift for the marae or the whānau to make use of it as they see fit. And this sits outside of the costs. Sometimes, depending on the organisation or the ope, they'll build the koha into the cost. But usually you want koha to be given face-to-face as part of that encounter. And it's still an integral part of the encounter when you welcomed formally into a space. All right, so bring a little bit of pūtea, just enough for a koha. There's no stipulation on the amount, but people need to be aware of, one, and it's back to their due diligence, of course. There's differences between what rural marae and what urban marae have to deal with in terms of, let's say, running costs.
Yeah.
There's differences in terms of access to kai and how that's scalable across the different contexts. So that's probably just a quick feel out of some of the things that you have to consider as manuhiri. So there's no stipulated cost, but if you're going to a place where you realise that perhaps the community is struggling keeping their marae running on the ground, then you probably want to err to the higher side of what you might think is a suitable cost or an appropriate contribution or donation to the gathered koha.
Yeah.
But yeah, i ngā waomua, he kai, he āwhina, he
Mahiringa wera.
he tamaiti. Anei, mārena.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you would contribute in a whole host of ways, and those are still viable today. But probably the most visible part of what we understand as koha nowadays is done in that ritual encounter as part of the what do you call it? The formal welcome into the marae space. But yeah, as you say, there's nothing prohibiting whānau from going out to the kitchen and helping out if they need a hand. Right. There's no holiday that's not B&B to whānau. No. Oh.
I love that. Okay, ka pai. So E.T. and his friends are on the marae, the Paewhiri process.
Ka pai E.T. no mai.
Yeah, no mai. And I'm part of the whānau. Coming up next here on Paewhiri, the do's and the don'ts on marae.
Pai tū, pai hinga, nā wai rā kauchi. A nei te punua pāoho o Paewhiri.
Welcome back to Paewhiri. This is our podcast hosted here at Moana Radio. Marae, do's and don'ts. I'll go first. Let's go around the table. Marae, do's and
thinking
don'ts.
this one.
Okay. Wahine mā.
Oh.
This year, if you, I mean, this is just if you're going to go into a marae, just think about your reiteration what Nigel said earlier. Just be mindful of your kakahu. Okay, because I don't think a very, very short skirt is appropriate. When you go into a marae, you don't know if you're sitting on the floor or a chair. Okay, let's be real. You don't know if you've got a turu available for yourself. You may have to sit in an uncomfortable space for any length of time. You don't know how long the whai kōrero will go on for. So just kia tika o kakahu. Whātu te rākau kia koe ngairo, do's and don'ts.
Oh, that could be defined in so many ways. Kia tika o kakahu.
Yeah,
Anyway,
just
te whānau,
roll with
while
it.
we're talking about kakahu e hoa mā, if you're there for a few days, use the laundromat. Ka pai,
What if they don't even walk?
no hanging up kakahu on fences.
Oh, or inside the whare.
That still happens nowadays. So if you need to hang at the marae and you need to go through your laundry, go to a laundromat, go to a facility that can take care of it quickly and in a discreet manner. Leaving kakahu hanging on fences, in display areas, it happens at te whānau.
Yeah.
And we'll just let you know that is not the one.
Not the
That's
one.
not the tahi at te whānau.
It's not the tahi.
Set some standards there, Homa. I don't know what's going on out there.
Matua, do's or don'ts?
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Ngā tamariki.
Don't have tamariki?
Do take them on the marae if you want them to see and learn, like the way we did. But don't let them run around and walk around while people are doing whai kōrero and things like that. You have a little baby and it starts screaming its head off and it doesn't stop. Take it outside.
While you were on there, te whānau, and this is not in any way, and I don't think in any way most marae would prohibit our tamariki coming along to hui. There may or may not be things that are specific to certain hui that would deem it appropriate or inappropriate for tamariki to be there. But if you are taking tamariki to the marae, make sure they can handle the hui. Make sure you, as the kaitiaki of the tamariki, can handle your tamariki being there. And I'm saying this in the with the best possible intent e hoa ma. Ori te ki nā kōrero a matua kehu. And I get this all the time. Ka tai ki te karakia i te pō, kua ngenge nā tamariki, kua hia tākaro. At the end of the day, usually most marae have karakia in the early evening. When the whānau have finished the day's activities and everyone can gather to have karakia. And plenty of times our tamariki just don't want to sit still.
No.
But they're forced in there because the parents want to attend. And this just might be a good time to think about what's best. If you want your tamariki to be there, ka pai. Are they ready for it? Cool. If not, is that the best place for them to be? So, ko nā tamariki me whakaro ki nā tamariki when it's a good time for them to be there and when it's not the best time for them to be there. Perhaps you can go and have someone else tiaki or tamariki. While I'm on the tiaki tamariki.
Rant? Nah.
The marae isn't daycare. You don't just roll in and drop them off because you know they'll be fed and all the rest of it. No, kawe te whānau.
No.
Too many random tamariki running around there hui. Oh, these must be the hui that I go to.
Yeah, I think.
What's going on out
I've
there?
Seen Nairo, I've seen Nairo in action.
With random tamariki running around. Our tamariki need to be looked after. And ori te au whakaro kia kehu. It's good for our tamariki to be at hui and be engaged in the marae and be taught in those spaces. But it's a managed activity. It's not willy-nilly gig. It's not, it's not freedom.
Freedom, exactly.
Because there's things around safety, there's things around formal activities on the marae, and, the way we are nowadays e te whānau, oh, no, don't yell at my kids.
Yeah.
Well, mena kei te marae, they're everybody's kids, and these are the understandings you go in with.
Kia ora.
Kia kaha, kia tātou.
Yeah, just going on what Ngairo's
We're still on the tamariki.
We're planning it out.
You take your tamariki to the marae.
Yeah.
It is a learning place, but it's also a learning place to be patient. They have to have that patience, and if they don't have it, then you know that they will play up after a certain time. It is a place for them to learn discipline. Growing up, we were taken to the marae, sat down on the floor, and we knew ourselves, even though as young as we were, we had to just sit there, keep quiet, not say anything, don't move. The only time we were able to move or say anything is if the crow or kuia said. Yeah, so it is a place to learn discipline and patience.
Yeah.
And you'll learn a whole lot. Once you grab those two, you will learn a whole lot from the marae.
Ka pai. Okay.
What about you, Auntie? Any traumas going on there?
Well, do prepare a waiata, e te whānau. Do prepare a waiata. If you have to wait at the gate for your family whānau to arrive, a couple of things you should be getting prepared is your speakers, koha, and waiata.
Sure.
E toru nā mea.
E toru nā mea, nā mea nui, kai kōrero, kai karanga, me te koha, te waiata, nā mea nui, ko te mea nui, ko te ata whakarite ia koe mui te whakaiake rungi te marae.
I love it. So easy. 10 minutes, ko wainga kai kōrero, anei te kōpaki, he ha te waiata. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then kia mutu te Paewhiri, ana kia mutu te hongi, te hariru. Welcome to the marae. You are now part of us. Have a kai and help with the dishes.
Aye.
Simple?
Simple.
Mama.
That's part of the koha.
Yeah.
Helping to clear the tables.
Yes.
Aye, because
Put your hands in the kitchen, do dishes.
You're now part of the marae and you're now part of the whānau that looks after other manuhiri that attend. So, aye.
Ka pai. Okay, coming up next we have...
Whaino whakaro.
pai tū, pai hinga, pai whiri.
This is Paewhiri. Okay, it is time once again for push play again.
Whainu whakaro.
Marae etiquette, the changes of our marae tikanga seems to be evolving. At my marae, certainly an example of things that are happening, questioning the why e te whānau. My final whakaro is, why? If you can get to a marae, if you haven't been to a marae, to our whānau, there are so many of us living in Ahitereiria. There's lots of kōrero actually, but tautoko, me tautoko i ngā marae katoa. And if you get to go one, and if you're part of one, it's a beautiful space he te whānau. That's my final whakaro, a little bit mikirapu, but kei te pai.
Tāhua. I think ko nā kōrero mo te marae, and I'll leave our tamariki alone. There's nothing wrong with our tamariki. Just the parents. Especially Kehu's kids. I think in these times where circumstances, whether by design or whether just the way things occur, we are increasingly pulled apart in our communities. We're taught to individualise, we're taught to look after ourselves, we're taught to focus on what we can manage. But the reverse current to that is everything that the marae represents, being together, pulling people together, working together, living together, doing things together. I think if you're suffering from those effects of being pulled apart, of being made to feel distant, either through circumstance or decision, just realise koe nā te wāhanga ki te marae, he kukume i te tangata, he kukume i te whenua. The marae is there to pull us together as people, to pull us together as descendants, and to be strong together in who we are. Hoatu kia koe e te tuakana.
Kumia maira.
Like I said before, it's the heartbeat and pulse of the whānau, the many whānau and the hapu. He honunga ki ngā wā o mua, te honunga ki te wā e naenei, te honunga anamata, o ngā whakatipuranga he ke mai nei. Ka ngaro atu ke tātou, ka nōra ke te marae.
All right.
I don't know where this fellow gets it.
Yeah, I know.
But e te whānau. If you need some advice,
Yes.
just in general, around the way the universe works, hara mai ki te kōrero kia kehu.
Ai, tika.
Ka tira e te iwi mihi ana ki o kuhua o tira kia koutou e whakarongo mai nei ki tā tātou punua pāho Paewhiri e mihi nei kia koutou. Ka whakairi hia te tapu o nā kōrero o nā wānanga o nā rūnanga katoa ki te pātu o tō tātou whare kia tūturu e rongo whakamaua kia tīna.
Tīna.
Hui e.
Tai ki e.
Pai tū, pai hinga, pai kare, pai whiri.